Ooh. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. This evening, we are taking a look at Korg Gadget, basically for beginners, but some very cool tips and tricks. Cool stuff you can do with Gadget, stuff you can do with Gadget that you can't really do with other doors. Okay, so let's have a swig here. Okay, so for this first part, I've got a Darwin, a Multipass, a Warzo, a Gadget loaded, a Type A Gadget, and a Zurich Gadget. So we're not going to be composing music here. I'm going to be showing you how to use Type A, how to use Zurich for importing and or recording, how to use the MIDI properly in Gadget, both types of MIDI, the advanced and the easy. Now, at the moment, Gadget usually defaults to easy mode. So this would help you well if you're not sure about Gadget. Gadget works kind of like the opposite way around in a normal DAW, whereas your tracks run horizontally and your scenes run vertically. So this is a scene kind of thing, but different scenes run vertically. If you, it's like an ordinary DAW if you kind of turn it on its side, but you know. So this, for instance, you see this first. I'll get my pen. My arm is in absolute bits. I kid you not. Right, so here is the first track, and you'll see that MIDI is highlighted for Multipass. If we highlight MIDI for Multipass, sorry, we have this one, and then that's Warzoa. Nothing in Type A, and obviously nothing in Zurich because it's a recorder. If we go into our little settings here, you'll see MIDI input, easy and advanced, like this. See, don't worry about MIDI sync, we'll leave that as internal. It has Ableton link, it has transport CC learn. It doesn't always work. You see, if I press transport on my keylab here, it just plays a note of whatever I'm selected, and the MIDI learn won't work for that. But however, I did get it to work in some other keyboards I had ages and ages ago. So, you know, there you go. Okay, so first of all, the MIDI, easy MIDI, lets you select each track independently. Like this. Solo and effects are kind of, we won't cover that because you can just add effects to each track sort of thing. If we want to play multiple instruments at once, this is where advanced MIDI comes in handy. Okay, so I do have in the background running a Lagrange, but this is going to be, we're going to be using that with Type A in a minute. So let's say, for instance, we want to create a big sort of multi-layered synth that we can record at the same time, so we don't have to keep recording the same thing or copy and paste and stuff. Or we've just got a gig and we want to do massive pad sounds. Let's just go with function here, and on track 1 I'm going to set this to 4 bars, okay, and then on track 2 here I'm going to set that to 4 bars, and then on track 3 I'm going to set that to 4, and I'm going to leave track 4 at 4 bars and track 5 at 5 bars. That's fine. Okay, so let's go out of function, and you will see that the track length is now increased. If I was to record now, okay, so I'll just switch my metronome on so I've got a tempo. It's 120 BPM, we can leave it at that. Tempo's up to you. We're going to be doing some very, very cool stuff with tempo. Actually, can close that down a bit so you may be able to see it a little bit better. If I bring up like menus like tempo. Okay, so I've got metronome switched on like this. Yeah, you can just about see that now. Spider's here. Spider is the gadget expert. I'm teaching Spider nothing here. Okay, so if I record now, I've got a counting set, I think 4 bars. So we'll just arm record and we'll get a counting to record, right? This first one, Darwin, because the MIDI is highlighted. and you'll see it putting notes in. Okay, that's recording one instance of Darwin. Then we could go and record something else and something else. Actually, I'm not going to multi-track Warzone because that's for something else. However, I am going to leave it set on 4 bars. Okay, so let's press function. We don't like that. Just press clear and it'll ask you, are you sure? Yes, clear. And now we've cleared out the MIDI from that track. So now I want to play Darwin and multipass at the same time. Okay, so let's do this and go to advanced MIDI now. Now you will notice, those of you who are keen, that the MIDI, where it says MIDI, is now changed to all. And you see where it says all two, all two, all two. These are my previous MIDI settings. So at the moment, if I select this, nothing is happening at all. Now I'm just going to change this to channel. I'm going to change that to channel 4 for now, okay? Because I don't want that to play with these two. At the moment, my MIDI controller, this here, and I don't know, you can just about see along the top here some numbers. These are the MIDI channels. These here are the MIDI channels. And all I do is hold MIDI channel at the end here where you can't see and select a new MIDI channel. So it says all two, all 4. And then on this Type A, it just says all. But that really doesn't matter at the moment. But it should be playing. However, it's not, because I don't think I've got any output set at all. No, I haven't got Lagrange hooked up to that, so that's fine. Okay, so, and Lagrange is running on channel 3. It's all about MIDI numbers and channels. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold my MIDI channel controller on the key step, on the key lab here, and I'm just going to engage MIDI channel 2 like this, and now I'll be able to play Darwin and multipass at the same time. And for while you might find Type A interesting because it allows you to control external synths as well. However, the key thing to remember about Type A is it does not record the external instrument into Gadget, okay? It's more of a performance tool, which again, because you can have 3 Type A's or 4 Type A's, well, you could have them each controlling the different craves, you know? So that would be pretty cool, beans, I think. Right, anyway. Let's crack on with this. Okay, so I know that now I've got channel 2 selected on my MIDI controller. Channel 2 on Darwin and multipass. So now if I record something, just let me put my metronome on. If I record something now, it's going to record both of them at the same time, which is nice, but kind of getting a lovely lush pad sound maybe. So we go. You'll see that it's recorded information into the Type A track, although because Type A isn't hooked up to anything, it's not going to read it. But it's recorded it because this is just set on all and no individual channel. Okay, so I'm going to go to all channels now and select channel 3 for that. I'm going to hit function and clear out that MIDI data I've just recorded into Type A's track. Okay, so I'm now going to select the MIDI channel 3 on my controller. And what you're hearing now is Lagrange, but you're hearing the MIDI controller play Lagrange. So if we go and have a look at that synth, you will see that it's on MIDI channel 3. No, it's on MIDI channel 3. Okay, so you set, like you'd set a crave on channel 1, another crave on channel 2, etc., etc. Lagrange is set on channel 3. Let's go back to Gadget now and go to where it says no output. go to no output there, and select, these are all our available outputs sort of thing. Gadgets, network session, keylab. We don't need to, we're already running MIDI through the keylab. But let's select Lagrange, and you will see Lagrange number 1. And you'll see it's triggered in here now. And what we can do now is record data for Lagrange to play inside Gadget. However, it's not recording into Gadget, okay? This is so important because people are going, why isn't it recording it? Well, Type A is just playing MIDI data. It's not recording anything. It's not an instrument. It's a MIDI controller. If we look at it, you can set it to record MIDI and stuff like that. And you go into settings like we've just been and select this and that. But you can't get the audio back out from Lagrange into this. You'd have to kind of record it as a loop and then import it back in via Zurich or something. You know, that's neither here nor there. It's more like a performance tool. That's the important thing to remember. So. All right, so now we've got that. What we're going to do is, what we go back. I'm going to record some data for Type A over this. Right, I am going to need my metronome on, so I'm going to hit record and then go. Now, oops, it should theoretically now be playing Lagrange, but it's not for some weird reason. But it should be. Yeah. So I don't know why that's not recorded or that's not playing back Lagrange, because you can see it could well be just a glitch. So I'll just save this session. Okay. This happens occasionally. So I'll leave Lagrange open and I'll reopen Gadget. It'll just reopen at my save session. Hopefully it'll play. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Usually it does. So it's not playing it. I don't know why. Okay. It's not, see, it's not playing anything now. So I think if we maybe go back into easy mode for everything, and see, it's not, this is the thing, right? There's a bug somewhere that's now preventing anything from being triggered at all. So even if I go to our MIDI, it's not playing MIDI. Wait a sec though, maybe if I go to channel 2. Now, you see, let me go back to channel 1. Now it's not playing anything. In fact, no, it's, see, this is a definite bug, because all of that just should have worked. I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to close Lagrange as well. Do this, open Gadget again. See, Korg needs to look at this. Now I've got nothing at all going out, which is just El Bizarro, isn't he? Oh, what a disaster. I'm going to set up a new track. I'm going to run at this quickly and see. Okay, so that's weird. So let's go and see if I open my previous one, which is called Type A. And I've got nothing at all. Oh, idiot, because I've got solo on. However, that really should have played Lagrange. So let's open Lagrange again. That's fine. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna go with Omni as well, just to see if it's gonna be sending to what's it? Oh, where's Korg gone now? Got no organization, I ain't. None. Right. Gadget. Okay, so. See that? Right. Okay. finally we get that to work. So by a little bit of messing around, making sure you haven't got stuff solo. However, that was weird. That should have been playing. Anyway, the thing to remember is Type A is only playing, it's only a MIDI controller. It's not recording that information in. If I close Lagrange, that's going to disappear. But the MIDI information is still there and could be played by something else. Cool beans, chop. Okay, let's take a quick look at Zurich. Zurich you can record into, so I could plug my guitar into the audio fuse or a synth or whatever and record into Zurich into input 1 and 2. That's receives from input 1 and 2. That's fine. Or how many your thing has, see? So on the audio fuse up to 7 and 8, or and then channels 1 to 8 if you want mono recording in. Okay. Or, which is also good, with Zurich, you can import. So if you look at this little button here, if we close this down to see the full thing, if we hit import, we can, well, let's go back here to documents. Sorry, done, and let's look. So, oh God, do you know what? I am seriously not kidding. Right, you can import from audio share or audio copy, import from others or whatever. If you import from audio share, I imported this one, which is there. So I'll just import that like that. And if I play this now,
bring the beat back. Bring the beat back.
So that was an import from one of Dean's packs. But like I said, you can, if you want, go to function, clear that out, go to Zurich, and you can set the track length for anything you like, obviously up to, I think it's 16 bars, and that sample will just play over that bars. But you can import like drums and stuff like that if your tempo set the same, etc, etc. But if we go to Zurich now and we hit import again, let's go to this, let's go import from audio share. And we can choose something else, like we could choose something from Daniel, like this, or let's see, something with a bit of size to it, maybe.
Come in, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
Okay, import into app, and now we've got that in there, and we can affect the sample inside Gadget with any of Gadget's effects, etc. So now we'll have this playing over, I think it's 4 bars. So it'll get to the end of the sample, but it will carry on, and then when it loops back around, it'll play the sample again.
Come in, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. Come in, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
It's pretty cool. So you can import all kinds of audio into Gadget as well. And of course, you can have as many Zurichs as you like, or it's up to you what your device will deal with. Okay, so that's basically covered Type A. We could, just as an example, if we go and open, say, let's open Monopoly, and let's see. I know we've got this inside. Let's open another one that's not inside there, shall we? Let's open something like, I don't know, Synthmaster 1, for example. And let's find a nice patch in Synthmaster 1, because this one will be too loud. Mallets, what's this? And I probably need to be on channel 1. Settings. I need to set the controller. MIDI. Okay, so here's what we need to do now. It's on MIDI channel 1. Let's set this to, actually let's leave it on that because it's all on MIDI channel 1 now. So that's absolutely fine. That should be cool beans. We can turn that volume down a little bit more. And we'll see if we can get Type A to see Synth Master 1 now, where it's got Lagrange. We'll go no output. Synth Master 1. And if we play that now.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
So we're not.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
See, let's have a look at Synth Master 1.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
MIDI input. So here we go.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. Coming, Mr. Holmes.
So now we've got Type A playing Synth Master 1, and we've got it on there as well.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
And we could delete this, record some new data.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson. Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
Pretty cool.
Coming, Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson.
Okay, so other things we could probably do is apply effects, etc. We can change the start and end points. So you've got like cool stuff that you can do. So it's nice. We don't really need to go into that. Anyway, so that's basically covered your MIDI kind of thing and Type A and Gadget. You've just got to keep an eye on what you're doing. Make sure stuff isn't soloed like I had. Now you can still hear Synth Master 1 because Synth Master 1 is hooked up to the Keylab as well. So anyway, for the next one, I want to show you about, excuse me just a sec. I want to show you about tempo and stuff like that and cool stuff you can do with all that kind of thing. So let's open, well, let's just go with a new one. And let's go with Tokyo. Yes. So Tokyo, it will initialize to 1 bar, 4 beats. I want it more than that. So I'm going to go to the bar section and function and set it to 4. And now we've got this. And what I'm going to do is duplicate this track. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it. Actually, I'm going to duplicate it twice, or maybe 4 times. So I've got a copy of a blank 4-bar pattern. Okay, so let's go into Tokyo here, and so Tokyo's like a little drum machine thing. Let's record something first. Now, this is the first thing I want to show you. We've got 4 bars. This little icon here, this is kind of like instant beat creator. You can create instant beats. Okay, yes, the keyboard is a Keylab 49. And it's still playing Synth Master 1, so we can close that now. We don't need that anymore. So we've got nothing going on here, apart from the MIDI. But we don't need to worry about the MIDI. So cool thing about all the drum machines in Gadget now have this new feature. They've had it for a while now, which is the kind of auto beat thing. I don't want that. So we've got different styles. We'll go with breakbeat 2. So you go into your kind of automatic beat maker thing here. As soon as you hit this first one, it gives you quite a basic beat. The further you move along to the right, it'll get busier, and then super busy, and then super simple to nothing, basically. Okay, so what's cool here is that we've got quantize switched on here, loop quantize switched on. We can record any of this information directly in straight away, so it's very cool. Well, we could do it like this. I think what I'll do is I'll put tempo on so I get my counting, and what I'm going to do is record something over these 4 bars. But I'm going to record something quite simple. Maybe make a little bit of an adjustment just to show you that you can. So we hit record like this, and then hit. See, it's flashing, it's waiting. Then hit this, which will give us our counting. Okay, missed the beginning of that. So we'll just go to function and clear note. Okay, so I'll try and get it on the beat this time. So I'll wait till it comes round again. Okay. So sometimes it misses it. You've just got to be a bit on it, you know what I mean? We can add some more bit of a fill, but I got that wrong as well, so I'm gonna clear note and clear automation again. So you can mess around until you actually get it right. And at the end I'll do a bit of a fill. Okay, turn the metronome off now. Oh, so we've recorded that. So I'm just going to set this one off to play. I will need my metronome back on. And it will swap over to this one now. And of course there's nothing there. So let's go into Tokyo again. And let's this time do something a little bit busier. Just let it loop around if it misses the beginning. And then we can go to the 3rd track and do the same thing, and then the 4th track. Or what we could do now is, just for time's sake, is let's just delete this one and this one, and let's just go to this one and select it and duplicate this one, and then duplicate this one. So we've got 4 bars. So it'll start off quite simple. The last one, obviously, which is a copy. So the first one's slightly less action packed, and then there's just a copy of the first one. Now let's do the really cool stuff. Now we can change tempo in Gadget as well on the fly. So let's do this. We'll go with function, and these are the scenes. Okay, these are the tracks, these are the scenes. So if we hit where it says 4 times 1, we can rename it, okay, to anything we like. We can hit this scene tempo, which at the moment is disabled, and we've got fade in and fade out as well. So first of all, it's 4 bars, but I'm going to have it repeat twice. So repeat 4 bars twice, effectively 8 bars. However, the first 4 bars will be the same as the second 4 bars. It just makes it easier. You can set your scenes up. You have tempo, time signature, but let's call this, well, let's see. I'm going to reset the master tempo. Okay, so in this first one here, just do this. I'm going to enable it, and you'll see it's set at 128. So I'm going to touch this, and I'm going to drag this down to 80 BPM, like this. Okay, 80 BPM, done. And I'm going to just tap on here, and you'll see it's going to repeat twice. I'm going to tap on here now, like that, and you'll see this is back to 1. I'm going to engage this tempo, and I'm going to set the scene tempo now to 160, which is a bit like better. So our first scene is going to be 80, and then our second scene is going to be 160. I'm going to go to our third one now. I'm going to engage scene tempo and set that to 160 as well. Okay. And I'm going to do the same for the fourth one. I'm going to set this one to, actually, I'm going to set this one to 80. Like that. Okay. And we don't worry about smooth just at the moment. I'll show you what that is. But let's go to out of this now. So we don't need loop on because we wanted to play. So the first one will play at 80. And it will play twice, so it'll get to the end and it'll play again. When it gets to the end of this one, it'll then go on to this one and play at 160. Down to 80. Okay, so you get the idea. So you can set your scene tempos. Smoothing, right? If we select the second track, okay, this one, and we go to function and then engage this. If we switch smooth on, smooth like that, what's going to happen is that when track 1 gets to the last bar or last couple of bars of its sequence, it's gonna be a smoother fade up to 160 from 180, so you get a smoother transition. I can illustrate this better actually without having this to repeat twice. So we can just go in there, have it repeat once, 80 BPM. I'll turn smooth. We don't need smoothing on for the first track, okay? There's nothing for it to smooth. It's already running at its speed, so let's do that. And you'll hear when it gets to the end here, it'll speed up to 160 and drop into this one without it being so abrupt. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is the fade in, and we do a fade out as well. So let's go to scene 1 where we'd like it to fade in. It's disabled at the moment, so the important thing is to set up all your smoothing tempo changes. The last thing you want to do in anything is your fades in and out. Otherwise you're going to be adding stuff later at a later point and you'll be thinking, oh yeah, hang on a minute, what have I done here now? You know what I mean? Please guys, if is 38 people watching, strike the like if you haven't already struck it. Bless you. Okay, so let's enable, so it's disabled, so let's enable fade in, and it will give you 100%. Now if we're on 100% fade, what's going to happen is it's going to take the whole, let's put this on loop, it's going to take the whole of that time to get to its maximum volume. And then it'll go, because we've got it on loop, it'll repeat back to the beginning and fade in. So if you want a really long fade in, now these settings, by the way, work for the entire scene, whatever tracks are on here. not just drums. I'm just using it so it's quicker to set it up. But you could have it like loads and loads of tracks set up, and they'll all respond. These settings here, these are like scene settings. They're not like track set per track. You don't think you can do it per track. These are the only track options you have, basically. You know, your grid resolution, your amount of bars, etc., etc. These, the first ones in the scene, these are the cool things here. So we've got it enabled at 100%. Let's go with it about, I don't know, about 40. If it was 50%, it would fade. It would be its maximum. But you can see there's a little graph here. I don't think there's any curves available. But anyway, there's a little graph to show you actually where your loop will reach maximum. So that's kind of like about there. So it'll be quite quick. So you're not kind of waiting for ages and ages. So now we'll have got maximum volume just before halfway. So let's turn loop off, let it loop through. And we probably have lost our, oh, the smoothing is on. There you go. Anyway. Let this run through again. And then it should drop back down to 60. And then what we can do with the last one is kind of fade out. And we can have that fade out from about halfway through the loop. So without having to play the whole thing again, just should fade out now and then. And that's it. That's it, guys. There's some useful tips and tricks that you can use for Gadget. Just make sure that don't make any mistakes like solo, you know, because that'll mess you up. So that kind of in a way, it's good that you seen that we can fix that as well. Anyway, what were we all talking about? Oh God. Right. Oh, other news is, yes, Arturia have dispatched my Keystep Pro for demos and reviews, bless them. So that hopefully will be here sometime this week. So we can start to have a look at the Keystep Pro and what the Keystep Pro can do for us iPads. Yeah, I think we'll be fairly impressed. I've never been into for prog. The fades and tempo changes are pretty good. So you can change tempos, fades on the fly. The fade in, the smoothing, the smoothing in Nano Studio 2 is loads better because you can choose how long it takes. You know, whereas Gadget, you're kind of limited to, well, Gadget's telling you it's going to fade over the last bar or so, you know what I mean? But yeah. Oh yeah, the Keystep Pro is pretty cool. There's a lot to understand, but once you understand it, it's yeah, you'll be quite amazed. Anyway, that's not here yet. Anyway, but you know, it's on its way. It's on its way from France. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah, that's it, guys. Really. I just wanted to give you a quick couple of tips and tricks with Gadget because I hadn't done it for a while. I have covered these in other videos. But the Type A thing can be a bit weird. You just have to make sure that the MIDI channels are set up correctly. If it doesn't work, you might have been soloed. I had it earlier where it just totally crashed out. I mean, it proper crashed. Nothing would work. So you've got to be, you know, prepared to keep saving stuff. That's the main thing. Save all the time, so you can always come back to the project and. You know, hopefully it'll work. I'm going to get off now because my arm is absolutely killing me. Yes. So, what else have we got? So I don't know really. I'm just kind of winging it at the moment. Winging it with me arm, you know. Anyway, brilliant. I'm going to let you guys say ta-ra to each other. Okay, it's a rotator cuff injury, by the way. I just thought in case you're wondering what the hell I'm on about. But it's just, I'm okay if it's kind of like that, you know. But if I start moving it around, it's a disaster. Okay, so thanks, Stephen. Yeah. So I think, I think that's it, really. I'm sure I'll think of something else when I've gone, but I'm going to go and have a sit down now. I mean, I know most of you guys know Gadget, but really for some people who might watch this later, at a later date, it was when most people watch the video. Hopefully they'll find something useful in the actual thing. Like I said, Type A is good because it works with hardware as well. I have never tried it with hardware, but I'm sure it works fine. Okie dokie. I'm gonna let you guys say ta-ra to each other, and hopefully I shall see you tomorrow. Oh, I tell you what, definitely 100% on Tuesday I'm doing another Korg Wave State video. However, it's slightly different because I bought some packs. I actually bought some packs from the internet from a guy called Mark Barnes, markbarnes.com, Mark Barnes Music. The guy, they're about the only ones you can get at the moment because the Wave States are new, and he's already made 3 patch banks. Each patch bank contains 20 presets, but they're absolutely brilliant. The guy's brilliant. So I actually did buy them, and then I contacted him and said, "Is it okay if I do a video of your packs?" And he said, "Yeah, man, go for it." And he said he'll be at the stream if you want to ask him any questions, because he is like Wave State God. He knows everything about the Wave State. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. He's got a YouTube channel, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Angel Star or something. I think something like that. But they're well worth the watch because he does patches for other synths as well, and he's got some videos of him making patches and doing cool performance things. Really good. Anyway, so that's what I'll be doing I'll be demoing Mark's patches on Tuesday evening for the Wave State, because they are extraordinarily good, which is nice, you know. Anyway, brilliant. But of course you can chop and change, and you can mix up different parts of them and keep other bits, and that's what's nice about the Wave State. You don't have to go diving into learning how it all works. You can really experiment with it. Right. I'm blabbing on and on. Right, all right. I'm going to say ta-ra to you, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra.